Hello my bunnies, it's Ticky's Trinkets here, and today I have for you a new polymer clay tutorial. This is an OC original character by me. This is actually my business card and my YouTube logo that you'll see on like my thumbnail on my channel. I've just brought it to creation, brought it to life. I've never actually done this before, but instead of her original style, this is Five Nights at Freddy's style from the original game series. This is going to be a art trade with, I can't remember his name. DJC Creations. He's changed his name once or twice. I'll link his channel down below as always. But yeah, he's going to make my sculpture as well, but he's going to make it in a different style. I believe he said he was going to do plush style. I'm not sure, but I'm doing mine first so he can use this as a reference for his. But let's just go through some of the things about it if my phone would stay focused. Okay. Has a pink stomach, pink nose, pink bow tie. The inside of the ears are also a nice light pink. The eyes are blue, just like in the logo. The heart base that she's sitting on is a light blue heart that I painted just the top of. And just a cute little bunny tail on the back. And again, lines around it to make it look more mechanical like the Five Nights at Freddy's characters. I was going to give her eyebrows and make her angry looking, which I did, but I did not like how it looked, so I decided to leave it as is. Sorry about the focusing issue. There we go. But yeah, okay. I hope you all like this. I'll link DJC's Creations, his channel below, and I'll link his video below once he makes his version, if he makes it into a video. It might just be a trade. But whenever I do get it, I will do a video of me opening up the package from him. Alright, let's get into the tutorial. Oh, real quick though, my bad. You could use this tutorial to make Bonnie or Toy Bonnie, or pretty much any custom FNAF character you wanted. It's pretty easy, so just follow along and do with it how you will. You don't have to make my character. I know this is pretty girly looking, but that's my business card. Oh, and if I didn't say it before, her name is Bun-bun, which you will see in the video title, but I just wanted to point that out. Alright, let's get into the tutorial. Bye-bye. For this tutorial, you'll need the following colors: white, sky blue, and ballerina pink. For once, I know all the names. Start with the white first, which you notice isn't my big block of clay, but I needed more white, and the whites aren't the same as the pounded clay. They're a little off. Then I just cut out the squares for the body, the arms, the legs, the head, ears, etc. Then I rolled all these in the balls, but you'll see later that I forgot the tail and one or two other things, but I'll add it. We're going to start with the body piece first, so this would be a ball about 1 inch in diameter. And you'll roll this out into a fat teardrop shape, which is a staple in clay, which you've seen me use 1,000 times now. Then you're just going to gently grasp it with your fingers and press it against the workstation so that it'll be flat on the bottom. Then just tip it over and pour it out. No, I'm just kidding. And just cut the top off to make it nice and flat. Then you can go ahead and stand it back up. Now we're going to do the head, so we're going on to this ball, which is maybe 1/16 smaller. It's just a little bit smaller than the body's diameter. Then you're just going to roll it into a ball and then pinch it between your fingers to make the top more narrow. Then just lay it against your work surface, and about halfway up, press your finger down to make an indentation, which you can see right here. It kind of curves in, concave, like, you know, like a cave. Then just go ahead and stick a piece of metal wire, which don't glue the head on yet, but you can go ahead and attach the head to make sure it sits nicely, like I've done right here. Again, don't glue it yet. It's easier to work with it when you can take pieces apart. Next, we're going to move on to the legs. So we're going to take these two balls, and we're going to go ahead and roll these again into teardrop shapes. Real original, am I right? These are maybe 1 inch and a little more than 1 inch, maybe 1.5 inches. Then just cut the tops of the bias and cut the bottoms flat, as you can see in the picture. Then just go ahead and wrap this around the body. I just kind of stuck it to the body, but you don't have to glue it yet. Again, it's easier to work with things when they're detachable. Next, we're going to move on to the lower part of the legs and feet. So we're taking these two tiny balls, and we're going to roll these into fat, nubby teardrop shapes. And these little nubs, we're just going to push them against our finger to make them flat like feet, and then just press them against your work surface to make them even flatter. Then I just took a dotting tool, shoved it up in the upper part of the legs to make space, and took the pointed parts of the feet and jammed them up in there. This you could go ahead and glue together. This I recommend so they don't fall out over and over. Then I took some scrap clay. This is one of the things I forgot. The joints for the knee and the feet connect, just like the classic FNAF characters. So I just took 2 little balls, rolled them out teeny tiny. These aren't even an inch. These aren't even a centimeter in diameter. They're really small. Then I just gently pressed them against the joint where it connects to make it look like they have little knee pads on. And next I just took my X-Acto blade, if I can remember the name, and made the little tootsies. After that, we're going to move on to the arms. So we're going to take these 2 balls that I had up at the very top, the fattest ones. These are about a half an inch in diameter. Roll these out into fat teardrop shapes, just like we did the feet. But instead, we're going to cut these in half. Well, cut about 25% off of each one, and use the part with the 75% left, so they should still look kind of fat. Then just press this against the body. You could go ahead and glue these on. You kind of want this to stay on for sturdiness. Next, we're doing the lower part of the arms. So you're just going to take these 2 small balls. You're going to roll these out into little nub shapes. Nubs. Just roll them back and forth between 2 fingers to make log-looking shapes. Then just take some more glue and go ahead and apply that to the body as well. And next, we're just going to make the paws for the bunny. So we're taking these 2 balls of clay. And we're also going to, let me guess, roll them into teardrop shapes. Oh, yep, you're right. And again, to make these flat so they'll connect to the the arms, just cut the tippy tops off. And go ahead and take your blade, roll it back and forth twice to make the little fingers, like the tootsies. Then just take your glue and go ahead and glue this on as well. Next, you can go ahead and take these 2 balls, which are going to be the ears. And if they're ears, what do you think we're going to do? Roll them into teardrop shapes. How original. That's how you make everything. Teardrop shapes. The key to clay. Then just go ahead and take your X-Acto blade or a rolling pin and roll them out flat. You can kind of see the residue on the blade where it like rolled on it. Then just take a long blade and cut them across so they'll be even and flat. Then I also took the long blade and indented the joints of the ears, just like Bonnie in the original FNAF game. Then I just took 2 pieces of metal and I stuck it into the head for sturdiness. And then I'm just going to go ahead and place the ears on this. Again, do not glue this yet. You want these to be detachable for easy accessibility. Next, we're going to take more scrap clay to make the tail that I mentioned earlier, because I made a oopsie. Just take a ball that's maybe a half inch in diameter, or if you want your tail poofier, make it a little bit bigger. And I just rolled it into a teardrop shape, like we've done a million times. Then just kind of press it down a little, and then just put it under the butt of the bunny. Pretty easy, right? Alrighty, now we're also going to make holes for the eyes. So you're going to take your small dotting tool, poke it, jam it into the head twice. Then just use more scrap clay to roll out 2 teeny tiny balls that are less than a centimeter in diameter. And just stick them in the head. Then to make indentations, take a dotting tool or a pointed tool, shove it into the eyes so you can put the iris on. I really need to learn the parts of the eyes so I can be correct about this stuff. And that's what it looks like. Next, we're going to move on to the pink part of the clay, as you can see right here. And just like we did before, we're going to go ahead and roll out everything prior to using it. So the pink for the ears, the bow, the nose, the stomach, and the feet. First, we are going to start with the stomach, which is the largest one right here. And we're going to roll it out flat, which you'll see here. And you can just use your X-Acto blade or a rolling pin like we've done before. Excuse me. And then just place it on the body, just pressing it down very gently with your finger to make sure it adheres to the white clay. Next, we're going to take these 2 small pieces, which are going to be the inside of the ears. So we're going to do the same thing we've done a million times now. Roll it into another teardrop shape. Make sure these are more narrow towards the bottom. And make sure they're about the same length. Then just roll them out flat with your tool again. And then we want to make them flat at the bottom because that's just how they look on Bonnie and my style and whatever. So cut them with a long blade to make sure they cut evenly, and then just attach them to the ear. This is why I said, leave the ears detached so you can add this to it, and don't glue them yet still. Next, we're going to make the bow, so we're going to take all 3 of these balls, the large one and the 2 side ones. Roll the 2 side ones into teardrop shapes, making a very, very small teardrop shapes at that. Then just taking your finger, press down to make both sides flat. After you make them flat, you can kind of cut off the tips and then smush them together, like I did here. And then just take the ball, place it in the very center, and press it down flat with either your finger or an X-Acto blade, which I've done here. Then to make the bow look more ruffly, just take your X-Acto blade or dotting tool and run 2 lines on both sides. Run them kind of perpendicular, kind of at an angle. Don't make them completely straight. Then I just went on ahead and attached that to the head. You can maybe go ahead and glue that to the head, but make sure it doesn't glue to the ear. Next, we're going to make the nose, taking this really tiny. This is the smallest ball we used thus far. Pinch it between your fingers to make a triangular shape. This is kind of hard to explain, but I hope you can figure it out. Then just take the last 2 pink balls, and we're just going to take them and press them against the feet. Just put them on the feet and press down gently with your fingers and make them flat. And voila! Finally, we're now going to move on to the sky blue polymer clay, which I use Sculpey. Again, you could use anything. And we're going to make the irises, I think is what it's called. Correct me if I'm wrong. Part of the eyes. So we take 2 small balls, the same diameter, really teeny tiny. I can't even measure them, they're so tiny. Roll them into teeny tiny teardrop shapes, and you're just going to stick the pointed ends into the sockets and press down gently with your finger. And it should look something like this. After you've done all that, you can go ahead and clean it off with alcohol and cotton swabs, which I forgot to put the cotton swabs in the picture. But you'll see them in the next picture right here where I cleaned it. After it's nice and squeaky clean, then you can go ahead and glue everything together. The ears, the bow, the head, everything. As you can see here, everything's ready to be all glued together. I just disassembled it. All the stuff that I hadn't glued yet. Then I took my X-Acto blade, or you can take a dotting tool and draw lines on the ears, the face, and the stomach. And the side of the shoulder pads is what I'm going to call it, shoulder blades. Just to make it look more robotic. And then you're ready to bake it. I forgot to put it in the pan, but this is it already baked. I just forgot to take a picture. After it's baked and cooled off, just take some black acrylic paint and a very small dotting tool, and you're just going to dot on some pupils for the eyes. Voila! I made them more oval than rounded shape. That was just a choice. And last but not least, to make sure it sits nice and flat, I took a piece of wood, a wooden heart that I bought at Michael's, painted it light blue to go with her eyes, and just glued her to this base using E6000 glue. And you are done. I hope you all enjoyed this tutorial, and I just hope it was very helpful for y'all and you were able to use it for whatever you needed. And again, I will link my friend's YouTube page down below. Thank you all for watching. Stay tuned for more. Bye-bye, you guys.